Evening and welcome to the Ware Selectmen's meeting for the 17th of August, 2020. Will everybody please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Public comment.
Don't have to wear a mask in here any longer, or is it?
Actually, if you don't wear it we can't hear you through the microphone.
Right, I mean, just sitting.
In general?
If you're 6 feet
As
apart.
long as you get social distancing.
Richard, but just want to, first, a brief comment about the Public Works Director and the work that's being done on the road. Started out by putting a comprehensive plan together over a year ago, presented it to the voters. I believe the $2.5 million bond was probably the largest bond, municipal bond, ever in the town of Ware. He's now in the process of implementing the plan. So, creating the plan, getting voter approval, those are two hurdles. But the implementation part is where the rubber hits the road, I guess. And I believe he's doing a great job on that. The only thing I'd like to see is on the town website a list of the roads that maybe have been done and what future roads are being planned. So, my next
If I may, I believe there is a list on there of what is proposed to be done with this money already on.
Oh, I know there is. That was part of the proposal.
Yep.
But here we are implementing. So, next week we're going to be working because the proposed plan didn't go into that level of detail. It listed the roads, but on September 1st we're going to start a particular road, so people have at least advance notice that the road's going to be done. There's some pre-indication, if you do some if you got a paved road to begin with, they kind of do some roughing up of the road, so you got to sense something's coming down. My next comments are regarding the noise ordinance, which I think is to me. Sorry. Oh.
Clear my throat.
Which is a bit of a misnomer because it really was dealing with just two major issues. That was the explosions and gunfire. It wasn't dealing with exhaust noise and things like that. And this goes back to 2015. So individual boards over the years were just kind of kicking the can down the road and haven't really been done much. And it's not an easy thing to correct. But there's been some misinformation, and there's a false statement that was made by the chief of police that I need to correct. At the July 20th meeting, let's see, he said an ordinance for noise had already been voted down. As far as I know, there's only been one ordinance, or one article on the warrant regarding noise. And that was the one in 2015 that requested that the Board of Selectmen put together a proposal for the following year to be placed on the warrant. I don't believe there's ever been an article on the warrant regarding noise that's been voted down. So that's a misstatement. And it needs to be at least corrected by stating it here unless the board knows of another noise ordinance that was placed on the warrant at some point in time that's been voted down. I don't think there is. I'm kind of in the blast zone, so a little sensitive to the issue. And I've been following it since 2015. In 2015, the voters requested that overwhelmingly, by almost 60%, that an article be put on the warrant the following year. And it just never happened. Public hearings were held. They're kind of all over the place. There's one held here, there's one at the town office. And it was never really summarized in terms of the issues and kind of just fell apart. A committee was formed. They put together a final, I guess, summary, so to speak, statistically, which even the current chairman indicated was a bit convoluted. It was hard to determine what the impact of those statistics meant. The question was, are you experiencing noise? Well, if I wasn't, I was going to go up, I'd say no. But why does that count? against people who are having noise issues. The voters already stated in 2015 that they were interested in putting an article on. If the question was, are you interested in having a noise ordinance on the warrant, even if you're not affected by noise, maybe people would have said yes, but I just don't think that was the proper question. And, you know, there are volunteers trying to do the best they can. And as you know, that committee just kind of fizzled away and gave it back to the Board of Selectmen to resolve. It's a difficult issue. Firearms are regulated by the state. And Jack, I'm sure you know more about this than I do, but from what I read today, over the past few days, is that basically the state of New Hampshire controls the use of firearms, sales, where they're used, how they're used, and it supersedes all the laws and local laws. Hunting is an example. They want to have one set of laws for hunting. They don't want every town to have a different set of laws regarding hunting. So according to the information I have, according to the RSA, it indicates that the state does regulate the use of firearms. This is obviously a noise issue. And that becomes even more difficult because it's kind of subjective. You know, at what point in time does somebody's need to have fun, to blow things up, affect my pursuit of peace and quiet? And I think, to me, that's the big issue. I know one selectman said, well, go ahead and blow it up. You know, go ahead, have fun. If that's why you bought the land, go ahead and do it. But it's affecting a lot of other people. And some of the comments that were made in terms of notification. I know it was mentioned that, you know, this is a very difficult thing to do. You notify people within the blast zone, because that's probably about a mile, at least a half a mile in radius. You notify all those people, you're going to set off an explosion. And then the solution was to, well, notify, and then, you know, people can pack up and leave. So you get the kids, the dogs, you put them in the car and drive around out of the blast zone, and then come back at some point in time. It just doesn't sound like a very practical approach. I would like the approach of maybe the police going and talking to these individuals. It has reduced the amount of gunshots and explosions to maybe an hour or less. It was up to 3 or 4 hours. And he describes this person as a reasonable person. I hope this person is reasonable in terms of knowing what the impact of what he's doing is on his neighbors. So I would like to see more police involvement on a proactive basis. I don't think there are any laws that can apply to the situation, but maybe coerce the individual to lighten it up a little bit, maybe go and buy a .22 and plunk away in his backyard. I know one person on a particular website said that, yeah, I'll go, if I want to shoot, I'll go out with a subsonic .22 and shoot in the backyard. If I want to shoot a higher caliber, I go to a rifle range. That would be a nice approach, because a .22 is not something you'd hear. It'd be like somebody knocking on your door, probably. That's all I have, thanks.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else for public comment? Okay, and we'll move on to department head and committee items.
Chris has something.
Yeah. Chief, you're up.
Update on the website. We've been calling them, haven't been getting a lot of return calls, so we're kind of wondering what's going on with them. We don't know if they're affected by COVID, but we've been trying to contact them for a good 2 or 3 weeks now. So as soon as we get an update, because we should have been up and running with that by now, we'll let y'all know. Radio study, I'd imagine this has to come in as a warrant article next year. Am I correct with that?
Yes.
Okay, that's all I need. Does anybody want to see a copy of this?
What is it?
It's the study for the assessment of the public radio communication system. It's going to cost the town $29,500. That's the study we talked about.
Yeah,
Thank you.
And I can just send it to y'all by email if you want.
okay,
That'd be great.
yeah.
Do that
that'd be great.
tomorrow.
Can I ask I guess I'll read it. I haven't read it at all. Did he get a chance to? Because I reached out to New Boston as I was asked to and never got back. The PD hasn't gotten back to me on if he's had issues or radio issues or.
I know he went. Austin talked to a couple neighboring jurisdictions. This was the company that was highly recommended. I don't remember which department dealt with them
Okay,
before.
I think it
off
was
the top of my
Milford.
head.
Was it Milford?
That sounds right.
Yeah,
I think
Milford.
it was Milford because
Yes,
they just
it
did a whole communication system.
Mhm.
Just barely, so
Right.
they would have had numbers fresh.
Yep, same
There's
company.
also a company that FirstNet which is done through, I think, Verizon or AT&T.
AT&T.
I'm
That's
trying to
all.
connect with him, but he's in Georgia,
That's the one
Okay.
the governor
just to see
signed.
what that does. So I
Okay.
just wanted to let you know, we've played phone tag, but Georgia in this time frame hasn't worked with each other.
Gotcha.
But it's firstnet.com?
No, I
Okay.
remember them.
That's the one I forwarded to you, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I get emails from them all the time. Okay. Speed trailer, all we're doing is waiting on the registration, then that can start getting deployed. Building maintenance, we had new carpet installed in the lobby entrance, the lobby, and the corporal's office today. Was a trip hazard that was written up by Chief French even before me. We finally got it fixed. Vehicle MDTs, we have 3 vehicles which has Windows 7, which means they're no longer CGIS compliant. Confirmed they can't be upgraded, have to be replaced. Quotes obtained, $6,098.24 times 2, because both of those vehicles need new mounts. The other vehicle does not need a new mount, so it's $5,598.90. We're applying for funding for replacement MDTs under the COVID grant. Funding is available in the PD budget per the finance director. The town would get reimbursed on the ground. I just need a
We,
approval to.
we may get reimbursed.
May. Okay.
Because it's to do with that COVID-19 and things like that.
Yep.
So it's out there, we can apply, but we have to be prepared if we don't.
Gotcha.
So if you
No,
don't-
we're still
Okay.
prepared. Yeah.
Okay.
If you don't get it, it's coming out. Going back to the carpet, what was the bottom line on that?
It was under 2,000 for those 3 places.
Okay, is that any more gonna be done?
Not this year.
And where was it, in
That's
the
just
lobby and the,
The entrance
Yeah.
way, the entrance foyer, the lobby, and then the old records room, which is going to be the future corporal's office.
okay,
They got done. Then next year we'll do 3 more of the smaller offices. Year after that, mine and the lieutenant's office.
okay.
So breaking it all down. Yeah, but MDTs, I just need approval from you guys to pursue that.
Is that to do with that sole source vendor?
Yes.
Okay, can you tell me what the number was again?
Yep. I get quotes if you want.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we
I was
need
trying
to-
to
we
write-
need to have the
You
quotes.
talk way too fast than I can write.
Yeah. One of them is actually higher, but that one's incorrect. 2 of them should be $6,098.24, and the last one's $5,598.90.
That was the sole source. Patrol PC, yep. So the motion, I mean, the okay would be to have him purchase them out of his budget, and then Beth is gonna apply for the grant and keep our fingers crossed, but in the event, you know how the grant works, you're up in the air.
Yeah, you don't know.
I mean, it's out there, so we can try, but I just don't, if
So
we
he's
don't
looking-
get it, we have to be
There's
prepared.
3 of them in there, and one of them was what, 50?
No, the sole source letter is here,
Oh, the sole
that,
source, okay.
that Austin gave us last time. And then he's got quotes,
Quotes for the.
2 vehicles have to get mounts.
Yep.
Those are the higher quotes.
Right.
It's about $400 difference.
So, okay, so you're looking for the total of 3, so it'd be what, 6? Is it 6, what was the total
is it
amount?
60,
6?
609824
Yep, times 2, and
times
then
2?
5598.90. You want an exact number?
Yeah, total.
Okay. 8, hang on. 5598.90.
$17,795.38.
This was the sole
And like I
source.
said, this isn't an optional thing. It's something we got to get done because they're not.
But your
compliant
budget can handle that if you don't get the grant to
from
reimburse you.
personnel funds. Yep, because we've been running short. That's where Beth said she'd get it from.
Here's the other one.
So these won't interface with the touchpads already in the cars? The touchscreen's already in the cars?
The, you mean,
So it depends on the car. Some of the
Chargers?
cars have their own screen.
Right. They won't interface with those?
Yeah, I don't know. That's way beyond my.
Well, it
Patrol
says-
PC came out, looked at the cars, and said that's what we'd need.
Says readable display.
So you're replacing those tough books, those Panasonic tough books
Correct.
with these?
With those, correct. Yeah, 2 of them have already got those in them, so all of them would have them up to date with the Windows 10.
Well, those tough books are from 2000 and,
11,
no,
12,
before that,
before that?
2005, but they sat on the shelf for,
Yeah, I know Goffstown gets the same thing, and they replaced theirs after 5 years.
and
We're
those
way past that.
those were original grant ones from like 2005, 2006, I think.
Purchasing policy, is that in effect with this?
Yeah.
The sole source.
If it's a sole source,
What's
it's,
that?
Contract, or how?
well, if it's, you have to go out to bid if it's $2,500 or more.
Okay.
But if it's a sole source, that you still have to bring it here to get approval.
I'm not familiar with the term or sole source.
Sole source means they're the only vendor.
They're the only
State contract.
state yeah, so there's already a state contract
wanna make sure.
or our own in-house vendor.
All right.
Three-year warranty on each one of these, it says?
Should all be the same. The little highlights that I made, I was trying to figure out what the price difference was. And what it is, they added installation twice. I called them and all it was Ryan was just being anticipatory. That's why I took it back off the price. Obviously 6 is gonna go down at some point. He just wanted to prepay moving the computer from 6 into whatever we get eventually. I was like, you can't prepay that. We'll just have to pay that when it comes.
Yeah, you can.
That's right. That's the difference.
What was that number?
It's $450 difference. Whenever we move the computers, $450 for installation charges.
As I thought it'd be.
That's why those highlights are on there. I was trying to figure out what the difference was.
Yeah, they all got a 3-year warranty on them, so, okay.
We keep them past that though, obviously.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, if something's gonna go wrong with it, it'll probably go wrong in the first year or less.
John, can I have that handout back?
Should have made copies.
Yeah. How is your new hire doing? Has he already hit the street?
He's with, working the same shift as Mike Muse. So he's in training, same time period, 3 or 4 weeks.
Yep.
He's comfortable just getting the matter to know our systems, and that's it. Then he'll be cut loose. But yeah, he's glad to be here.
Now, do you have one in the works?
Pepperless, but she's a part-time.
Nobody else full-time in the works?
Well, I mean, like, it's just outer ring. Not quite in my inner ring yet.
Oh, okay.
Are you going to bring her forward at some point?
Yeah, so her, and I got that. I'll get in her in a second.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
Don't be jumping ahead.
Sorry, I didn't.
No, it's all good.
So you're waiting for someone to make a motion, right?
Yeah, I wanna make sure everybody's got
Okay.
through
I
it,
just
so
want to make
so
sure
I'll
we're on the
see
same page.
I wanna see the paperwork again so I can quote the company.
Make sure you get all the
Make sure I hit all the.
I's
the-
dotted and T's
all the-
crossed.
All the high spots. Is there any
Back
discussion before we go there?
Just, I think it's high myself. I understand it's sole source, but I
Yeah.
think those numbers are extremely high for a computer system.
Make a motion that we allow the police chief to, go with Advanced Electronic Designs Incorporated to get,
No, it's patrol.
it says right here, I'm looking at the top, advanced, the slips. They're the ones who have the
Control
invoice.
CPC is that little logo.
Yeah.
Patrol PC source letter, it says advanced electronic design.
And on that other one.
Advanced electronic design underneath it, so, of Attleboro, Mass, to, purchase, 3 new PCs for the patrol vehicles at a total of $17,795.38. To come out of his budget with the possibility of being reimbursed through the COVID-19 funds. Is there a second?
I'll second for discussion.
Okay, discussion?
I agree with Ricky. I think it's high.
Unfortunately, where it's sole vendor though,
It's the sole vendor.
I know.
so they've got you.
Yeah.
That's what I don't like. I mean, I just think $3,200 for a computer is a little high. I mean, I don't know.
Well, it's
Well,
I mean, no, it's not
no.
really. It's more like call it
3,200.
50,
yeah.
50,
well, there's
300.
everything goes
400.
around it, but the
Yeah.
actual main
Yeah.
The main part
process
of
is
it.
$3,200.
Yeah, and the fact we can't read
$31.99.
Right.
It is what it is, but it's,
It's it's a lot.
Well, it's interfaced with the computer dispatch down at Goffstown, too.
Well, I understand that, and I understand that computers don't last forever, and operating systems go extinct. So
what do you think the lifespan of these computers?
Goffstown says 5 years. They replaced theirs.
it's probably as long as Windows 10 will be supported,
Yeah,
Who knows how long that'll be?
right,
about 5 years,
or less.
no less.
All right.
John?
Catch 22. Gotta have them. You gotta have them. I agree with both of them. I think
That's a lot of money,
it's a little high.
yeah, but, yeah, it's the only game in town, too, so, I mean, and you gotta have it.
It's either that or we don't have an MDT in those cruisers.
Right, which is not acceptable.
No,
Not anymore. No.
No.
not in this day and age, unfortunately.
All right.
Okay, any other discussion? Sherry?
Oh, it's a lot of money.
Okay,
but-
motion on the floor and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Vaya con Dios.
All right. I saw a Washington Times article come out. We talked about in a previous meeting how only 7% in law enforcement who are currently in law enforcement would recommend coming into law enforcement. This is kind of the tip of the iceberg coming. PD, you're leaving the profession. It's easy to see. Just an article because I want to make note of a comment from our background investigator. It's going to be hard luring people into this job, especially new guys. From Mr. Raymond, who does our backgrounds. And this is a quote. A quick observation before that report reached you, and he's talking about the report on Pepperless. You guys are hitting home runs with the hiring trained and certified people. So we're making the right steps to counter this. I believe the guys that we're getting and girls are going to be here long term. And that article is going to be minimized here. So the steps we've taken, I think, are really good for our long-term survival. What we're doing right is identifying personnel who want to be at WPD, and like I said, long-term, right fit. Police corporal, if there's no comments on that. Police corporal, we had one applicant, Officer Muse. Written promotion packet has been completed. His next step is an applicant board review. I'm going to do that next Friday, August 27th at 5 p.m. I believe that's Friday. It's composed of 5 people. He had to submit about 6 pages worth of document to justify why he's the right person for the position. What I'm looking for is a board of supervisor volunteer who wants to sit on that board with me. First come, first serve.
I'll do it. Nobody
you go.
else wants it.
When is it, next Friday?
Next Friday at 5 p.m. It's the 27th. I'm pretty sure that's the Friday. Could be
I think
Thursday.
it's a 20.
That's
28.
a Thursday.
27th is Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next Thursday at 5 p.m.
Where's it? At your office?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yep.
And just a question about that process. Just to make sure, If the board recommends him, his next step is to come in front of here, correct? To be interviewed?
I would believe so.
That was what we've always,
Yep.
It's just
I
a
don't-
promotion, is it
yeah,
not?
I was gonna say, I don't know that,
He doesn't have to come before us, it's up to you.
No, we've always brought him forward.
Before we promote him, the chief usually brings them through.
No, we brought him forward.
Nothing wrong with grilling him.
We've-
I'm good with y'all grilling him.
No, we
We didn't have to do that for any highway garage.
no.
Haven't
We've
had
done it-
anybody to be
We've done it for the
promoted.
last 3 sergeants.
So then we'll schedule that September 7th. No?
that's a holiday. You wanna be here by yourself,
no,
you
ma'am.
can.
Yeah,
The next board meeting, and then the meeting
be
after
the
that,
21st,
if he progresses.
21st or what?
September. If you follow what we get for a schedule, but no, the next one,
No, we have to talk about the
we have
schedule.
to
Let's
do
just put them
that,
on the
so.
next
Okay.
schedule.
We'll put it
Yep.
on, we'll let you know,
Very good, thank you.
because we follow through the 7th, and then the next one will be the 21st, so we have to have one in between. We haven't decided yet.
All right, part-time officer, Officer Peplis. She's from Wilton PD. The background's complete. I've got everything on her. Like I said, her department had a personnel shortage. She informed me that they got a part-timer who's going to do a lot more hours, so that might free it up. She's just playing it by ear, but we're just waiting on word from her that she's ready to go forward, and her main job won't be affected. So that's all we're waiting on. But
Was she full-time in Wilton?
she is full-time at Wilton. She lives here in Ware, so she wanted to do part-time here.
What are the chances she'd convert to full-time here?
Oh, no.
No? Okay.
Can't do that.
Our loyalty is to Milton PD, and we're happy to get her with what we get her for,
Gotcha.
filling in.
Are we still getting the guy part-time that wanted to work part-time that went to Antrim?
No.
No,
He's all out, he's out now?
Yeah.
yeah, nothing to do with Andrew. But anyway. One current vacancy, no definite or definitive candidates currently.
So
Chief,
that'll put you at a full roster of how many?
12, include myself.
When you fill the next full-time position.
Correct.
So I have a question.
Yes, sir.
If the next candidate comes in at the same level that we've hired the last 2 or 3 at, will the payroll budget be able to hold all 11 officers plus this corporal position?
At the previous level?
At the
present.
at the current funding level you have today?
No, because when they budget vacancies, they budget for a step 1 with a master's degree. So out of the academy, obviously, we're not hiring day 1 officers. We're hiring at a higher level.
So what's that gonna do to your budget?
I'd have to look to see exactly. Like I said, we don't have to fill that last position if we don't want, just so we don't go over.
Well, I think it's, my personal feeling is the will of the taxpayer to have
Have that position
that position
filled,
filled. With that said, I'm not gonna say let's overlook anybody that wants to come here with certifications. And I also don't think that what we're hiring at is inappropriate for the level of service we're getting.
Agree.
I'm 100% behind all that.
Yep.
I just, like I said, if we get, which, you know, with current times, a proposed budget is gonna be a hard sell, no matter if it's $1 more or $1 less. Anything's gonna be a hard sell this year.
Yep.
So I just wanna make sure that we're on the right track.
Yep. And the offset is, like I said, we're saving $34,000 each
training.
of those guys that we get because we're not having them send them through the academy. So I figured it out at one time. I think it's 6 or 7 years before we hit that where we're no longer balanced from what we save on hiring a new guy versus them with that 30. It takes 6 or 7 years to make up that $34,000. So.
Where are we on the overtime?
Overtime's going down because we're getting staffed. So that's the
balance.
offset. When you're fully staffed, you don't have all those open positions to fill.
Right,
So the overtime budget's gonna drop.
drop, good.
Okay. I'm just a question, that's all, because, I mean, like I said, I'm 100% behind the hires that we've made. I just wanna make sure that fiscally we can support
Sure, absolutely.
the town's will.
Yep. Very good. Next item I've been working on. This is, so, over the summer I worked on IA files, and they're kind of all over the place, internal affair files. There wasn't a consistent process with how they addressed them consistently, but how they labeled them and then dealt with them. But what this is kind of a keystone document called Police Officer's Manual. if you all want to, like I said, I've got the implementation date of going live with this, September 1st. So if you want to review it, if there's anything you see that needs to be addressed or added, just let me know. But it's kind of basic stuff. Use of tobacco, how much overtime you can have, obedience to laws. But when I was looking at IA files previously, that kind of standard didn't exist. So chiefs kind of made up whatever charge they wanted to hit officers with, rather than having standardized charges where it was actually written down, no, you can't do this. Make sense?
So where would you see, would they be like almost like our personnel policy where you have to sign it?
Oh yeah, they're gonna have to sign this.
And then would there be a disciplinary tier system, or is that covered
Yes.
by CBA?
So no, this all applies with the discipline. If they violate anything through here, it's all progressive discipline. Based on the seriousness of the offense, of course.
And that's laid out in here somewhere?
Not in this one. That would go with CBA. Okay. It's a combination of things. Okay. So the discipline system is currently overviewed in the CBA. That's actually going to be the next order I hit is internal affairs. We actually have a meeting, internal meeting next Wednesday to discuss this along with the internal affair. Because if you say internal affairs up here, everybody goes crazy. Where it's kind of standard. Yeah, I know.
Do that anyway.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, but. Anybody got any questions on that? Like I said, you can review it. If you got any input, just let me know. And I don't know if you want to see general policies that I do. I was mentioning towing policy. Here it is, along with the memorandum of understanding. We've sent this to all the local tow agencies.
Where'd you get the basis for some of the?
State. State, Portsmouth, Concord, Manchester. I think we looked at all the big ones and kind of combined it. But in here's the actual policy, we call it a memorandum of agreement with the tow companies that they'll have to sign effective January 1st, and a standardized tow fee schedule. But, oh, did I not give you?
Is part of it that they have an impound yard or a yard
Yes.
here in town?
Yes. Or within, I think it's 5 miles away, if I'm not mistaken. It's close, but yes, it does address that. How many cars it has to hold, how it has to be secured, what kind of response time they have to have to it.
Page 5 at the bottom.
So, yep, but all the area tow companies have that. They're giving us feedback. We can still adjust this, and if you all see anything you'd like adjusted, just let us know. We'll adjust that before
So
we
you
roll it
put
out.
this out already?
We're at page 5 at the moment.
No.
It's not official. It's
Okay.
in
Yeah,
a
page
review
5,
standard
okay.
right now. Review status.
How many page 5s are there?
I don't know.
Well, you got a policy, and then you have a memorandum of agreement.
Okay, yeah, towards the back.
Oh, so it's a memorandum of agreement, okay.
Contractors must.
So
have a
once you
skip storage
finalize it,
facility
you
in the
send it
town
out
where-
to everybody that is interested in doing this?
Well, they've already got it, so they're reviewing it, and if, so the feedback we've had so far, we've only had one thing so far. One of the parts in the memorandum of agreement, somebody was asking why we need the comprehensive general liability insurance. I believe that was the one. We looked at other departments, they didn't include that, so we're probably gonna get rid of that one.
Now, by sending it out, do you generally put it also in the newspaper so others that you're not aware of might be interested in bidding on it can put something in? You know, I
We
just
did.
hesitate hand selecting and sending them to people instead of just putting a general, we have a tow package, if you're interested, let them pick it up, they may not be interested.
Well, this still doesn't get anybody, it's not gonna generate income for anybody, this is just a review of policy. It's just like having
when
a
you're
board.
ready to do that.
Right, yeah, sure.
You
I would
just, I mean,
contact
put it out, we call it put it out to bid, but you could put a notice out there that
public notice.
anybody that's interested in possibly being on our
Put on the rotation.
tow rotation, that we do have a policy and agreement that they
Yep.
could pick up. And if they're interested, they could, you know, they'd have to meet the qualifications, but
Yep.
by hand selecting and handing them out, the risk of missing somebody, I think, is great.
Oh, sure. And they can get on it anytime. We just went with the people who are already on the list.
Okay.
I would probably also forward a copy of it, once it's all approved, to the New Hampshire Towing Association, so their members, they have a large membership and they have a newsletter and everything, emails. They could put it out to their own members.
One of the things I think I would like at least reviewed on the second to last page, under duty to respond, up at the very top. It's listed as page 5, attachment 2.
Yep, I got it.
Second line down, contractor will not frequently pass on request. I think I'd like to see some kind of a hard number in there, no more than so many in a given time period.
Okay.
That just leaves it too open to interpretation.
Okay,
Just my thought on it.
no problem.
Attachment 2, page 4. Under Wrecker,
Yep,
last paragraph,
yep.
26,001 pounds.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
And the appropriate adjustment for the kilograms.
Yeah.
I'll take a look through it.
Not a problem. That's why I put it out there.
Yep.
Do you guys want to see all the new policies that I put out?
If you want to email them to us, I'd be
I
okay.
have no problem reviewing it.
Okay,
You don't have to.
I didn't
make
know if
hard-
that's-
You don't have to
I'll
make hard copies.
Yeah.
okay,
I think an email would be fine.
Save on trees.
sure.
And the paper budget.
Yeah.
All right, and that's all I had. Quick and easy.
Here we go.
Yeah. Half hour.
You'll, and he's gonna stay till the end.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, next item is the manifest.
That's you.
That's it. To order the treasurer to sign the payroll and accounts payables checks dated August 20th, 2020, as included in the following manifest. Payroll manifest for $61,802.39. That's the weekly payroll. Accounts payable manifest for $580,028.08. The Ware District Accounts Payable Manifest for $500,000. The John Stark Accounts Payable Manifest for $400,000, for a total of $1,541,830.47. The following manifests were previously ordered to be signed at the August 3rd, 2020 Board of Selectmen meeting. Payroll manifest of $59,883.55. That's for weekly payroll checks dated 8/13 of 2020. The accounts payable manifest of $65,592.75 on checks dated 8/13 of 2020. As there is no selectmen's meeting scheduled for Monday, August 24th, 2020, in order the treasurer to sign payroll checks dated August 27th, 2020, estimated to be about $70,000. Furthermore, to order the treasurer to sign up to the amount of $75,000 for accounts payable that cannot wait until the next scheduled meeting. Reports and actual check amounts will be reported to the Board of Selectmen by inclusion on the manifest at the next scheduled meeting. Do I have a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. There we go.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have minutes to review. First ones will be 7/27.
We actually have the 20th that we've never done.
Oh, we want to do those too, then. We'll start with the 20th.
Somehow the 20th got missed, they still show up as draft.
Yep.
So I backtracked through the 27th and the 3rd, and we never even mentioned them in either one, so.
I thought we had done them, but okay. So the 20th, we'll start with the 20th then.
These are all gonna be signed.
Well, you were out at that time anyway, weren't you? The 20th of July?
20th he was here.
He was here.
27th he was
yes.
here, not,
I wasn't here the third.
not the
I
3rd.
don't have any of the minutes.
Are you signed up for the e-subscribe? We can happily do that for you.
You should be.
You can read them on your phone.
Okay, anything on page 1? This is for the,
We're on the 20th, right?
yes. Page 2. Page 3. Page 4. Page 5. Page 6. Page 7. It's a long one. Page 8. That's probably why we avoided it. Page 9. Page 10. Page 11. Page 12. And page 13. Lucky number.
Make a motion, we accept the minutes of July 20th as written.
Second. All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes, aye. Okay.
Is that all 5 or 4?
Yeah,
Aye.
John,
What?
okay, the next ones, I guess, will be the 27th.
I don't have that.
Yeah, verbatim.
Verbatim, the
I
minutes
saw,
are verbatim.
yeah, I saw that.
Yes.
Okay,
Guess I gotta calm myself down a little.
meetings for the 27th of July, minutes.
27th?
Yeah, July 27th.
We'll load and stand by.
Okay.
You have to be careful, just got you on your toes.
I know,
Yeah,
yeah. Can't use any of my sarcasm.
Well, I told her about the
Okay.
neighbors not to put it the way I had.
Oh, the new residents?
The new
I was
residents.
waiting for that in the minutes.
No, I cut her off at that, because that would have been bad for me.
I was hoping that was in there.
That would've been me.
No,
Come on.
I said the one about the new residents, I started crossing
That was
off.
Elaine and,
page,
and John, wasn't
Oh,
it?
Paige and,
Paige and,
Yeah.
yeah,
Paige and Harry.
yeah.
yeah. somebody.
okay, page 1.
I don't have it with me. I read it, but.
I think
Page,
it's a- no.
page 2. Page 3.
I really gotta watch what I say.
Yeah,
It gets put down verbatim.
that's right. Page 4. Page 5. Page 6. Page 7. Page 8. Page 9. And Page 10.
Move to approve as written.
Second. All those in favor?
Yes.
Aye, okay. And, let's see, the third. Page 1. Page 2. Page 3. Page 4. Page 5.
First line, sole source letter, sole is spelled twice, or spelled incorrectly.
Yeah,
It's not S-O-U-L, it's S-O-L-E.
yeah.
It's a sister.
Yeah.
Yep, second one over. Okay, anything else on page 5?
The manifest,
Oh,
Selectman Van made the motion, passed 201, Vice Chairman Hippler. I'm assuming he abstained, right?
Abstain.
Probably ought to say abstained.
Yeah, I abstain.
Okay. Okay, nothing else on page 5? Page 6.
I don't like the abbreviated paragraph. I don't like the abbreviated paragraph on our new residents.
I do.
Anything on, nothing on page 6? Page 7.
Clarification on the second section, under Park Chairman,
Which page?
on page 7.
Yep.
Section
Yep.
3, Friday night, no trespass order was issued by WPD after major incident got out of hand. Probably ought to specify at Chase Park.
Yeah.
Okay.
Make a motion, we accept the minutes of August 3rd, 2020 as amended.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain. Wasn't here, so, okay, minutes are done.
Should have put the residents back in.
Next is the,
No.
I agree.
is the auditing bids.
They made it to YouTube at least.
It did.
I rewatched it just to laugh.
Oh, enough, thank you. I was writing so fast I didn't understand. I only printed 4 pages for some reason.
We have the auditing bids for our auditing company. We got 4 bids back. One of them from Vashon and Kluge and Company, one from Melanson, one from Roberts and Green, PLLC, and Plodzik and Sanderson, PA. Vashon and Kluge were at, the total contract cost was at $53,750. For 2020, their first installment of the contract would be $17,750. For 2021, would be $18,000, and 2022 would be $18,000, and a $2,250 single audit fee. For Melanson, the total cost for the contract would be $58,500 over the 3 years. It would, for 2020, it would be $19,000. 2021 would be $19,500, and in 2022 would be $20,000, and a single audit fee of $3,000. Robertson Green, their total contract cost was at $42,000. 2020 being $13,500. 2021 being $14,000, and 2022 being $14,500. They had a single audit fee of $3,000. And Plodzik and Sanderson at a total of $45,675. And in 2020, part of the contract would be $15,225. 2021 would be $15,225, and 2022 would be $15,225, and $3,500 for the single audit fee.
So I know you guys all had these in your box. You're welcome to keep them. We don't want them back. Because everybody was supposed to submit one. Beth spent some time. I've spent some time. And just, I don't know, I didn't get a chance to send it to you, but the last contract we had was with Melanson. And that was 18.5 was the no, hang on. It was 15,000, 15,000, 16,000. But it actually was 15 a year. The 16 at the end, we had an extra audit this year, a single audit in February. So there basically was 15, 15, and 15. And that's what you went with before.
Do we have any complaints with who we used in the past?
I don't think there was any complaints. I'm not sure. Things went very smoothly. So I'm really not sure why the 4,000, 45, and 5,000 increase in the year. Beth does a tremendous job so that we don't pay a lot in putting it all together, and we set them up, and both actually, you know, Maureen and the tax collector had put things together, because they send us a list ahead of time as to what they're looking for. So we do a lot of it here, and set it up so that it goes smoothly, so there isn't a lot of extra time. I just don't know if you look at the two, if you look at them all, I don't know what would warrant, as I said, a 4,000, 45, 5,000. Whether it's the number of clients, I don't remember what they had before we started with them, because the number of clients right now is about 200 with that group.
With Melanson?
Yep. And then the number of clients, the two smaller ones are 50 plus, and then 51, and then Plodzik and Sanderson had 134. But I think I sent you the email. Beth and I both had said either of Robertson Green or Plodzik and Sanderson would be sufficient to work with.
I think I like the fact that Plotzik and Sanderson actually told us that other services, they actually gave us a breakdown of what it would cost for other consultative service. There's nobody else just said that. It says unless research is required with Robertson Green.
Yep.
And the other ones just said no charge for phone calls.
The other thing is you look at the per hour rate was 90 for Robertson Green and 91, 71 for Plodzik and Sanderson.
But there could be consultation to save us
Possibly.
at the other end, just like John said.
Yeah, which they broke it down, at least.
Yeah.
You're not going to get blindsided.
Nope.
Plus, they're spending another 16 hours on the audit.
Yeah,
And it's a flat fee across all 3 years.
yeah, that's it.
That's
Good budgetary numbers.
Yeah. Well,
Plus they get, I mean, their staff to client ratio is a little higher, but,
By half a person.
Yeah,
by half a person, right, but,
Well, when you compare that to who we currently have, I mean,
oh, no, I'm not.
that's a huge
Yeah.
difference.
Absolutely.
but, yeah, and the thing is, though, you look at it, and,
No, I'm not saying right, wrong, or indifferent, I'm just
Yeah.
saying
Yep.
that their ratio isn't that much higher than the other.
Correct.
you know, when you're looking at, like, the other two, and you're looking at $110.94 an hour for Vashon and Kluge, and then $121.02 an hour for Melanson, I mean, that's,
Well, money.
Well, the staffing difference.
There's a
yeah,
staffing
but
difference.
I mean,
yeah.
they've got 82, a total staff of 82, those two. Robinson Green got a total of, what,
Six.
they get 20,
Six.
96,
Six.
yeah, 6. And then you get 84 for Plodzik and Sanderson, so,
No.
Oh,
No.
15.
total staff, that says 160, staff 84.
Staff size 15
Oh, 50,
Yeah.
15.
well, I'm looking up at the other number, staff equals 84.
hours. Those
Oh,
are
that's hours, yeah, okay, 15, 6, 70, 72, and it seems like we're paying for the extra staff.
I'm leaning towards Plodzik and Sanderson,
I am also.
just for the reasons I stated earlier.
Yep. I think they're a little bit more upfront than what we're getting, so.
Did I hear a motion?
Well, I'm asking to
Haven't heard
see
anybody else.
John, Sherry,
Yeah, I'm at
feeling?
one or the other of them, I'm fine with.
I make a motion that we contract with Plodzik and Sanderson, PA, for 2020 through 2022 for audit.
I'll second it.
Yeah, for what, the price
Price.
of?
For the price of $45,675, or broken down $15,225 for 2020, 2021, and 2022.
Okay. Now, we got a second? We have a second?
Second?
Okay, all those in favor?
Yes.
Aye. Okay. Looks like they've got the bid. Next is facility discussion with the gazebo.
Jack and I talked about this a little bit, which is why it got put on here, and I think we even alluded to it in one of our meetings in a discussion about, where, meetings are being held. And I think there was a discussion amongst us that we thought it was closed, and it wasn't closed, and, I mean, we've reopened the building. I totally understand that not everybody's ready to come back inside. But at the same time, are we just gonna, are you gonna close the gazebo or not close the gazebo? That's what my question was.
Well, we've already said it was open, did
I
we
didn't
not?
think it was ever closed.
I know, we never closed it, but the thing is, we,
There's no way, so let me ask you this. If you go over, have you ever been through during the day? There's gotta be at least 30 kids climbing all over that place.
Yeah.
who knows what else?
And I know people are using it for meetings, and if we're gonna allow a committee to meet over there after everybody's been over there without sanitizing it, is that fair? I'm just saying that. We don't have any way of sanitizing it. So,
Well, how often is this room sanitized?
well, we wipe down that stuff. I mean,
But, I mean, in
we
terms,
probably do it once a week.
Okay.
No, we don't do the chairs, no.
but it's an outdoor, I mean, the sun's gonna sanitize it. It's,
Well, that isn't always,
Well, I'm just saying, that's why I wanted to have the discussion, because I think some of us thought it was closed, some of us didn't.
so I originally brought up last meeting, excuse me, that I thought the gazebo was closed, and I was corrected that it was not closed,
we didn't.
so. And that was during the discussion for the car show.
Well, I think the only way to effectively shut down the gazebo is put up a
Is it
chain link fence with barbed wire on top that's 10 feet high all the way around it.
Yeah.
I think it's the only way you're gonna close it down. You can put fire line tape, police tape around it.
the signs
The
that
only way-
you sit at your own risk.
Yeah, signs are useless. I mean, it's,
Yep.
so, I mean, good luck trying to close it. That's, I mean,
Well,
practicality, good luck trying to close it.
well, I mean, I think the crux of the matter is, and I'm kind of skating around it, is that there was a town committee that wanted to meet over there, they didn't want to come in here and meet. And and I think that since we've opened it up and there's other meetings that have been going on in here since we have, I think that that's, I don't think it's in the best interest of the town as far as being transparent, because they're not being recorded.
No, I don't
And I
disagree.
think that to have them do that, I think is wrong. I think, if they want to meet, then they should be meeting here. The town, even though it may not be binding, they wanted to have everybody, and it was,
Make their best effort to be recorded.
best effort to be in here when available, and if
Yep.
it's available, and I can understand during the pandemic, but a lot of that has been modified, that they can meet, keep social distancing, this place is somewhat sanitized. It's not being used by every Tom, Dick, and Harry every 5 minutes. So I think in the interest to the taxpayers, in the interest of transparency, that the meeting should be held here and recorded, because minutes aren't being forwarded in a timely fashion and so forth. And I know that that's always been an issue with some committees that have come before us, that the minutes aren't, how come these minutes aren't here and there? Which really isn't our responsibility per se, it's the town clerk's, but by statute, but it's still.
How many members are in that committee?
5? Do you have 5 members?
Bill, me, Andy,
You have 5 and an alternate.
an
Yep.
alternate.
You have 5 and an
So 5
alternate.
and all, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so, I mean, I think it could be, I
Do
think
they,
it
do
could
they
be,
generally have public attendees?
Sometimes.
Occasionally they have few people, but not very often.
So it sounds like it's a similar,
so I think
turn out to
a
us.
setup similar to this, what we have
Well,
going on
planning
here
board,
could work.
planning board probably has sometimes has more than the
Right,
others.
but I'm
But they
thinking
schedule them.
We're distanced here,
Yeah.
if you wanted to move the podium to where John is and put another seat over there, you could, I mean, I
mean,
think
if we've had.
I think there's ways to do it.
If we had people here, we've had them with masks on, or we've had them wait outside and so forth. And the same thing with the planning board,
So the discussion was, we talked about was, are we allowing the meetings? I think the gazebo can maybe stay open, but maybe not for meetings. Not that we're gonna invite people to there. See, if you have a meeting there with an agenda and certain items, people are gonna go.
Mhm.
We're inviting them in where we can't sanitize it. So if it's open, it's open. Pass at your own risk, but to invite and have meetings held there that we're gonna ask people to go to if you got something on the agenda, is that something, is it just gonna remain open? I've tried to have the meetings here, it doesn't sound like they wanna meet here.
What happens when there's a rain date?
Or when it snows this winter.
Well, some-
Well, I mean, if they don't want to come here and meet, then they can still have one person come in here, and they can Zoom meet, and it's on, on YouTube, and they have it.
Well, I'm
recorded.
we probably should look at Zoom, because if the pandemic becomes worse in the fall, we probably should be prepared.
Yep,
I would agree.
I think
I
there's
agree.
gonna be a cost from what I've heard. I don't know if that's true or not.
well,
It used
Well,
to be
you can use
free.
it for 40 minutes for free, and after
Free,
that,
and
there's
after
But
a
I think
Yes.
there's actually also a,
There's a paid
Like a
version.
sign-up fee?
no, there's a limit on how many people can watch or attend.
100, I
also.
think.
yeah.
There is a fee. I think it was $129.
Something tells me we don't
Yeah.
have 100 viewers right
The
now.
library
Yeah.
has it. The
Probably
library.
I'm not going on a limb and say we don't have 100 viewers.
Probably not.
But, I mean, the thing is that at least if you Zoom, people can come onto it, and plus if you're in here, have one person in here, and there's towns that have done that, that they can come in here.
And you can also record,
And it can
'cause
be
then
recorded
you
on
can upload it.
YouTube.
the
So-
first few meetings, if you're not aware, a few of the towns started using Zoom and people were hacking it. So all of a sudden at the meeting, they were
that's
getting
still going on.
interference.
Yeah.
But it's lessened, a lot less. So,
And the other thing is, I mean, you could probably put 2 members here, at least one, but probably 2. And then, like you said, put the.
3 or 4, I mean, you could,
And you can still have it open to the public at that
Let
point.
me ask
and
this.
Zoom does have a recording mechanism.
Can
Yeah.
we supply the computer or laptop
Here?
to make that happen?
Yeah, I would have it solely for this room. It wouldn't be somebody's personal one.
Right,
Yeah.
no, I understand that. What I'm saying is,
We may have
I mean,
to purchase one.
I think if.
The fire
if
department
the
holds them
board-
that way, so.
Well, no, well, yeah, but what I'm saying is if the board is going to try and require this, I'll use that term and use it loosely,
We make a strong recommendation.
strong recommendation, then I think that we as the town need to
Sure.
supply the equipment
Yeah.
to do so.
I mean, it would take a new laptop, because the only laptop we get upstairs has got XP on it.
XP, yeah, so that's a little bit
good, yeah.
old.
Probably
that-
doesn't have a webcam.
No, it doesn't.
So, I mean, but I think that if we're
Wouldn't have
gonna
to be
do that,
much.
we need to supply, well, it wouldn't take much, you're right, but we need to supply the equipment.
Yeah, and I
You
agree.
know, and a little bit of training if there's any that goes along with it, and, you know, make all the legwork happen, if that's what, the, you know.
I think,
because-
like I said, in fairness to everybody and, you know, transparency is the key phrase, because, you know, we get that quite a bit, so let's.
Yeah, I mean, I can look
I
into
think
it and
that-
get in a laptop with a webcam. It's
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah,
easy.
and I have no problem with a Zoom platform.
No, if that's what they want to do, I mean.
So I can
that's,
look into it and,
Yep.
okay.
If we look into it, should we attach a dollar amount to attach to it as well?
Let's just see what the numbers are
Just
first.
see what the, let's do the research, see what the numbers are that may
Figure out what
suit
the
us.
price of the license is for Zoom.
Yeah.
With, so we can have the recording
Right.
Yep.
option.
Right.
What the price of the
Plus, they'll
laptop
have the
is.
recording of YouTube anyway, so.
And does our network infrastructure here, our internet speed support Zoom? I don't know what our bandwidth is here and all
I
that.
think it does.
It should, I mean, the
50
fire
up and 50
department
down,
does
don't
it.
ya?
Yeah, but that's all for download, but
Probably.
we're talking about
50 up and
upload,
50
that's
down?
why.
I
Maybe
believe
just
so.
double check with
Yeah.
our internet provider, just make sure it has a
Yeah.
sufficient.
Yeah, we'll look
enough
into
upload
it, but
speed.
I think,
I just did it with the
they have some-
library, and I did three programs with Zoom. And I was at home, and we recorded it, because we somebody tried to get
Really?
in on it. So we recorded it, and then we played it afterwards.
It's still,
So
I
there's
mean, it's still
nobody
going
getting in
on,
on
and,
anything and hacking into it.
I was with somebody this
Yeah.
week that turned around and was getting hacked on the Zoom for a job interview.
yeah, no, and,
I mean-
so the gazebo's open, there's nothing we can do about it. I think we probably should maybe
Make
use
sure-
at your own risk.
I want,
Yep.
if you want to put a sandwich sign up that says use at own risk, I mean, that's fine, but,
Okay.
I mean, enforcement is not practical
There's gonna be a
at
lot
all.
more kids over there shortly.
But
You put a sign up there,
And
it's gonna
the
get
waste
ripped off.
baskets are full again over there, Naomi. They're all, there's.
Where,
junk
at
all-
the
One that-
gazebo?
We took everything but one garbage can.
And that's the one over at the,
That's bolted down,
which one?
the one that's still at,
Right.
Yeah, and
At
that
the
was
gazebo.
full with stuff all over the ground the other day. I picked a bunch.
But that's, a lot of that, from what I understand, from the lawn care contract, a lot of that comes from the daytime girls and boys club.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
They're over there on the lawn, and a lot of times the gentleman that mows the lawn has called me, and there is cans,
Yeah.
napkins, and everything left under the trees where they get up and walk away.
I know this was discussed at the last Parks and Rec meeting, is the intention is to make that a carry in, carry out. Obviously, there's gonna be a demographic in town that is not going to just do that because they don't care.
Right.
Can we find out how much it would cost for a trash service just to go there and empty them once a week?
Well, I think that's the list, that was underneath the person that was in charge of Parks and Recs. That's used to.
That's what
what he
they
No,
get,
no,
they go,
she
they
always took the garbage
go. And
herself.
they go get they can go get the town pickup
Pick up and go
from
take it
buildings and
once a
go get
week.
it. The one that's over at the skateboard park was removed, and then the school put it back in there.
Yeah,
But
I heard.
that's, you know, if you,
School.
no,
Well, no, if they put it back in there, though.
no. Technically, it's not, because if you remember the discussion we had over there, that they went
Oh, no,
inside
you're
that
right.
fence, that's ours.
Right.
So, but they we took the trash can out and they put one back, because it was carry in, carry out. So, I mean, that's disappeared and then come back again, so.
But I don't know if I would, the ball fields is one thing, ball fields and event fields and
That's
sports
theirs.
areas is parks definitely, and so is the Chase Park. I don't know about the gazebo, I think that's a stretch.
Well, we have to
For
go.
having parks to do that. I mean,
It's probably part of ours.
Yeah, probably
right,
like
it's probably more ours.
Public Works would be responsible then.
Well, and I know that they're busy, I just don't think it falls under Parks and Recs. I think they're busy enough right now with everything they have going on, plus the lack of volunteers that they already don't have. I think that's one more banjo string to get tight, and I don't really want to,
Yep, you're probably right,
you know.
so, I guess
Because if
we'll
we take away the trash can, it's just gonna end up on the grass.
All on the
Right,
car.
right.
maybe not, you know,
But-
who knows? I think people are just dumping trash, period, in some of these places anyway.
Right.
Probably. They see a trash can and, oh, well, instead of littering, they're doing the right thing and they're putting it in a trash can. Problem is, that trash can's not being emptied, and I think that falls on us.
Oh, I think it
Oh, yeah.
does. I think it falls on the town.
Us as a town, maybe not this department or this group,
Right.
but us as a
Well,
town.
No, I think it definitely falls
falls
on
on
the
us
town.
because we're the final stop on the,
Right, it falls on us
chain,
as
on
the
the
town.
train.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, so,
So, it's open, I guess I can put up a sign that says, use at your own risk.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'd try to, can we permanently attach it to the
The
to
post
structure?
that's there,
There's a post that's there.
Somewhere, just, not just a
There.
sandwich sign, because that's just gonna walk away.
no, there's a sign, we could have a sign made.
Yeah.
I think it's probably the right thing to do with the amount of people and traffic that's being used.
There were signs
But
up
at
there
the-
before
on the
about
other-
climbing on it and all that other stuff, but that
On the
doesn't
other
seem
part
to-
of it, I think we should, strongly urge not for meetings, but we'll look into the Zoom platform and other things.
Yep.
Okay. All right, fair enough. First thing I'd like to just ask, if you look at your calendar, the holiday, as I just said to Chris, September 7th is a Monday. So if you follow it down through your first and third Mondays and fifth whenever you needed to, I would like to meet the 31st to go over, have that kind of be our meeting for the personnel policy revisions.
August 31st?
August 31st. I think the week of the 7th, we should probably just meet another night that week and then go to the 21st, because if you stay on track, that way you would meet the 5th and the 19th, we start back full-time in October. So if you're gonna go the 31st, we could do that as a work session, per se, and spend the night on the personnel policy.
And then you said the 7th?
And then, no, 7th is a holiday, 8th is elections, which Jack wants to talk about next as well. I'm thinking that maybe we
The
meet
9th.
Wednesday the 9th or Thursday the 10th.
That's fine.
I'd prefer Wednesday.
I would prefer Wednesday, it work better for my schedule.
And nothing else scheduled on Wednesday for this room?
No, I don't believe so.
Technically, it'd be conservation, I guess, so, we could go Thursday. Tuesday's too busy. No one wants to do a Friday.
Friday I can't, I won't be around.
It doesn't matter to me either.
Because
Right,
the
right,
10th, I think, isn't it, the planning board's also the second?
Are they first and third, or second and
I thought it was
fourth?
second and fourth, but I could be
Second
wrong.
and fourth,
So that puts,
Leaves that one out.
Leaves it, well, we
No.
could do the 9th.
we'll do the 9th.
just put conservation upstairs. If they elect. to
So,
meet.
for the calendar, just so, now while Chris is here,
31st.
so if we want to meet the 31st, seeing how we're going to be here, do you want to bring, is that too early? August 31st? We could bring in the corporal,
Yep,
and then we could work on the, you'd have a manifest, because I didn't say
Yep.
anything. You'd have a manifest, and then I'd like to just really kind of wrap up the personnel policy that night, so
Sure.
I'd like to spend the majority of the night on that.
and then, yep,
So the corporal manifest, and that's gonna be at 6:30. And then we would meet on 9/9,
yep,
September 9th.
yeah,
September
which is a
9th.
Wednesday. And then we'd be back on schedule at that point
The
for
21st.
9/21,
right.
and then 10/5, and then 10/19, you'd go back to every Monday.
Yeah, so then would, the last one would be the 19th, and then would start on the 26th, would actually go to every week.
Well,
after
you'd
that.
go 19, 26, from there on out would be every Monday. So while we're on the agenda of the Tuesday, Jack wanted to talk about elections.
Yeah, a schedule for the polls.
I'm unable to get time off. I've already checked into that.
Because
so-
I can only work till noon time.
And I can't work at all because I've been,
I can get
Doctor's
there, I
orders.
can
I mean,
get there
I-
as early as 4. That's the best I can do.
but I have said to Maureen, and she's gonna have a lot of people send in their ballot. And if that has to be gone through, I told her I'd come here and work. Whatever she needs done, I'll come over here and work all day.
Yeah, because,
If that's what
yeah,
has to
I can't be
happen.
there all day. I've been there every year since I've been here,
Yeah.
you know, all day. So I can't, this year I can't. I just can't do it. I got another commitment in the afternoon, so the best I can do is till noon time. So,
Yeah, I can get here as early as 4 PM.
what about you, John?
CIP in the morning, I got a doctor's appointment 130.
We'll have to figure something out.
Well, that's, I mean, I'll just pass it on to Maureen, so.
We'll have to figure it out.
Does the selectman have to be there?
By law, it's supposed to be a selectman there.
One selectman there. So you're missing between noon and 4 is what
We'll
you're
have to
missing.
figure it out somehow, so.
I'll work on that.
Maybe
Yep.
check with the Secretary of State and see if there's any leeway given the. the
Technically, I think by law, there's supposed to be more than one in there. The way Maureen quoted chapter and verse a couple of times.
And that's
I
just,
looked at it and I'm saying, yeah, technically, she's right.
But also with coronavirus going on, there may be certain leeways being given right now.
sure.
Right, so you might want to look
could-
into that.
There hasn't been any adjustments that I've seen, but, yeah, they just sent out an email on, I got 2 of them on elections, and there was nothing mentioned as far as any waiving of stuff, but we'll have to look.
So I'll check.
I guess let us know as soon as you can.
Mhm.
That's what we can do.
Okay. And my next, so for our insurance company, we had to have our boilers looked at in every building. Well, let me do this first. I have 3 cemetery deeds to be signed. I did go that way already. So there's 3 I'm gonna hand down. They're coming your way. Requires all of you to sign. And then we had the boilers inspected, and we have one that needs attention. So
Which
basically what happened is they go through and they do a boiler inspection, and then if there is an issue, they send you a letter regarding what the issue is. Then you have to tell them within 30 days what's your plan of action. So what they found on August 6th over at the town hall boiler was put in 2015. It says the safety valve installed on the boiler is leaking. This can result in the valve not functioning as designed to be the protection against overpressure. Safety valve must be replaced with an ASME NB stamped safety valve set at a pressure equal to or less than maximum allowable working pressure and with a relieving capacity equal to or greater than the rated output of the boiler. So with that being said, I guess, is it a plumber I'm looking for?
Yep.
Must be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
you got a plumber.
So I'm just gonna let them know that we'll hire a plumber and fix it.
Mhm.
I just wanted you guys to be aware of that, because it wasn't planned. We looked at every
That's
year.
probably the newest one of the ones we've got.
It is the newest one.
Outside of the Southware Firehouse.
No, outside of Benji's.
Oh, Benji's, yeah. Well, Benji's is,
Yeah.
So,
waste oil boiler.
I just wanted, so I'll write back to them, I have to do that soon, and just let them know, and I'll find someone to fix it. Now, we did not put the plumbing out to bid this year. Do you wanna do that for the rest of the year?
Nope.
I was gonna say, cause I don't think we have any big projects, cause we don't have any money.
yeah.
Right, I don't want to contract with anybody,
Okay,
honestly.
okay.
I mean, not this late in the year.
No.
No, that's what I was wondering. So if I
Yeah.
call up and get 3 prices, or unless the
Yeah.
price is under, it's under a certain amount, I can just get someone to do it.
Right.
Because it's gonna be heating season
It's
soon.
not gonna be that much anyway to prove
Yeah,
out.
a relief, pressure relief valve is,
Okay,
You're probably talking a couple hours of parts. I mean.
all right,
it's probably like,
Who knows when we're gonna actually.
probably
be
like
able to
$30 in
call
parts and the rest of it's labor.
right.
Right.
Couple hours of labor.
All
Yeah.
right, so, I'll just call any plumber. We've talked about the personnel policy. I do have an update for you, on some legal issues that we have going on. Actually, I could probably talk about 2 of them, because they're court cases anyway. Our first one, we are waiting on, so I'll start. Tom Wilson, over on Blake Road.
Yep.
We got an order or decree, maybe is what it's called. We got from the court, and Kelly is going to be working on finding the order was, so the defendant shall bring the property into compliance, state and local, either removing the material or obtaining a license, a variance and site plan review within 30 days of the order. Hasn't been done, 30 days is now over. So with that being said, should he fail to do so, the town, without further order, can enter the property, properly remove the materials, and seek an attachment. So that's what we're doing, is trying to find people that will go in there and remove it, because
Yeah,
30
remove
days
the
was
junk.
up.
What are we
August
removing, old
9th.
cars and stuff?
I
There's
haven't
heavy
been there.
equipment,
I
there's
haven't been
camper
there.
trailers, there's,
So,
Everything.
so we gotta
name it,
search.
cars, trucks, you name it, it's there.
And then the other, it's unfortunate, the town was awarded civil penalties, $275 a day since August 5th of 2019 for a total of $89,375. And then the town was also awarded the attorney's fees, $2,078.50.
What
So,
about the cleanup fees that are gonna, the
Well,
town would
that's all,
incur?
that's,
so I think that ends up just being an attachment after.
so that's an attachment,
So
yeah, like,
basically-
like we did down
So
here
just,
at-
so that one is, Kelly's looking for people to come in and, I mean, it's
There
all,
was a situation not too long ago, a year or two, similar in Salem, if I remember correctly, with a bunch of printers.
yes, I
It was
actually.
computer printers, yes, and
Yeah, I think this is like, I don't wanna say DES material,
Oh,
but is
it's-
it? I
it's
think so.
this is
definitely-
DES
Oil
up
and,
there.
yeah.
DES,
There's
EPA.
everything. But we went through the similar with the building up here that was used as a temporary highway garage, so we ended up
A little abatement there, yeah.
taking,
And then,
attaching that with the,
so that's where we are with that. She's gonna call and get some prices from people if they'll come out. That's where we are.
Scrap
A
metal
lot of
isn't
people
worth a
are
whole
busy
lot.
right now.
scrap metal's
But
not
we'll
going for big
continue with that
prices.
one. The other one that we can talk about too is Gary Bedard. We were in court with Gary Bedard. And Gary Bedard, if you recall, we were gonna let him attempt to sell it and give us the first, whatever to cover. That's a counter offer. What we're waiting on, Laura said, is to order a summary judgment. And the summary judgment would be to accept the, for us to sell it. It would then be ours, and then we could go to auction with it free and clear from the judge.
Yeah.
If there's something that comes back, we could offer the counter offer of letting him sell it for the first number that he owes us on it, and then he could have the rest. But she's waiting. We haven't heard back from the judge on whether it's ours or not yet.
That's 77 down here.
Yeah.
That's on 77. So that's the only two I've got a couple other issues legally that we need to talk about, which after we talk to the chief in non-public, we could continue that at the end of the evening
Okay.
until adjournment. And that would be really all I have for this evening.
Okay.
But can I just say anything? If you guys have read through the things and maybe bounce some emails back to Beth and I, as to why something might have gotten changed. If you have a
personnel policy.
concern, yeah.
I actually looked through, I don't know if anybody wants to discuss them tonight. I did have a couple of questions I made some notes on. We can discuss them tonight, or I can just email them direct to you.
It doesn't, whatever.
Yeah, I haven't gone through all of it completely, so.
Yeah, because if you had questions, it would just make it easier the next time around that we can agree on the final
Did you
ones.
highlight the changes in there somehow?
Yeah,
They're in red, I
Okay,
think.
they're in red, I don't know.
yeah, you should have it.
Yep.
She gave you all a copy, I think, in red.
Yep.
Right there. She made the changes in red. Yep.
Okay, yep.
So it's an easy read, but if you have any questions as to why or where, or, I think if you just send them over and then we can address them honestly that night, John, as well.
I was just thinking if we were gonna, because her hope was we could finalize everything on the 31st.
Right,
Which is our
so,
next meeting.
but there was a little bit of, so back up on that part, please, is, I asked Laura about adopting it, and there was this thought that it had to go to us, then go to the employees, and then go to a public hearing. According to Laura, she said, I told her we were just starting it, and she said, hang on. How did I not have her response? I think I printed it anyway. That's what happens. Basically, it's your policy.
Well-
You don't have to have input as long as you guys agree to make the changes, because it's the way you guys are going to conduct your business and what you offer for the employees. I thought she had it here. Did I swoop it away? She says, no one gets any input except the selectmen. You do not need to have a public hearing, but changes should be discussed in a public meeting, which is what I was gonna do on the 31st. And then she said, if you'd like our office to review your final changes, let us know. So we don't have to go through what we thought at the initial time was, you can send it to the employees and ask them what they think. That's really not, doesn't happen. We can share that with them, sure, and then we can discuss it, the changes amongst ourselves, but there is no public hearing that's required because it's only your input. So I'm happy to discuss it if somebody wants to. I mean, I have
Got
mine
two
here.
page 17s.
Well, that could be just a slight overview.
Well, if nobody has any objections, I just got a couple items I wanted to bring up real quick.
I haven't really read through all of it, seeing.
Yeah, well, you guys can mark your copies accordingly.
Yep.
Do you have everything else?
I think,
You just got an extra page.
yeah, it looks like I do. How many pages are there in total?
19?
19.
19 is the last page.
Yep.
So,
I appear to have all of them.
Okay.
my first question was on page 9, under overtime.
Yep.
The section called callback pay.
Yep.
Says we're gonna pay them at 3 hours at their regular rate. What if that 3 hours puts them into overtime? Are we gonna pay them their overtime rate? What if it's on holiday?
And why is it 3 hours, not 2?
Well, 3 hours was a kind of a conversation with Benji as well. 3 hours, I think, was more along maybe an actual call that we talked to Benji that might happen. He was more the one we talked with. I mean, 2 hours, I mean, I'm happy with 2 hours.
2
It
hours,
just-
I think, is a state minimum, right?
I think that's.
Labor Department minimum.
Okay, labor
2
department.
hours.
Municipalities are exempt, period.
No,
Not from the
they're not
Department of
anymore.
Labor.
Not
Not
for
anymore.
callback, they're not. You go to work and you turn around, you walk in and they send you home, it's 2 hours.
I'd want to confirm that.
And it does, callback pay, it does constitute as overtime.
Okay, because it's written at a regular rate of pay, that's why.
It's regular rate, it's, yeah, callback, but it's, you may get computed on the other end as overtime. So when your total hours come out, you may end up getting overtime for it.
And if they're called, what if they're called in on a holiday? I just think that it should be clarified in
Yeah,
there.
all right, so we need to clarify that a little more.
Clarified as
Yeah,
holiday
no,
pay, but you can't compute you can't, if today is Monday,
Yeah,
you get called back in for something tonight. You're not gonna know it's overtime if you figure it on a 40-hour week.
are
till
we
the end of the
overtime
week.
over 8 or overtime over 40?
40.
Over
Has to
40.
be, and it has to be worked.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you saw that in here.
So when these guys get called out, like, maybe like a tree falls and
Yep.
has to be cut up,
Yeah,
they're not going over to the shop to get
they
the
probably
truck.
go, yeah.
They're probably going right directly to the call.
They should, but to do it right, they should be going to get a truck. Going to get the truck
Which is
and-
probably where the 3 hours came from.
and get a chainsaw,
Yeah.
get
And
the
then-
equipment they need, if they have to use a chainsaw, get the
Yeah.
chaps and all that to go do that.
So, John, about,
Properly.
take it up a little further above callback, it says hours actually worked, bereavement leave, because you can't anticipate that.
Correct.
And hours paid for holiday pay shall be counted as hours worked. Because you have to have 40 hours worked.
Yep,
Okay.
And then it says for the purpose of computing overtime, because you don't know
you don't know.
on a holiday, you
Yep.
don't know when somebody passes away, so.
Nope.
So I think we do need more, because you've brought up a couple of, but I think the 3 hours was probably more where whoever gets called in to go to the shop.
Okay
get
with
all
the
their
3
stuff.
hours, personally?
Yeah,
275-43A, required pay, on any day, yada, yada, yada. However, this section shall not apply to employees of counties or municipalities.
what was it?
Yeah, but what does it say for?
275-43-A, required pay.
Well, nobody's gonna get called in and not get paid.
Yeah,
I think Ricky's point is, should there be a minimum? Am I correct?
Well,
Some of it's also done by contract.
run it with a fine line, because what are you gonna pay your fire department, town employees call force?
What do you
You got-
get paid?
I get paid 1 hour if I show up for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And
But
get
the-
canceled.
But
Right,
fire
but if
departments
you're
come under a
on call-
different, there's a different statute
You're
that covers
calling me a
that.
town employee though, so
But
run
yeah,
it,
but
run it
there's-
fine line.
But you look at the fine line where
Well-
it says fire departments, it's different.
Am I a town employee?
Yes, but there's an exemption under fire
It
departments.
says municipalities.
Well, go to the statute further for fire departments.
Well, just.
I mean, that's a state statute. I mean.
We better
the
clear it.
state-
That's all I'm
the
saying.
The state gives you a 3-hour callback.
We better clear it.
Ricky makes a good point. Let's get clarification on,
Yep.
That's all.
on that.
Right.
Yeah, we need more clarification
I'm
anyway.
not, I'm
just
not
so-
opposed to paying callback pay.
Yep.
Please don't take that as that, but I just wanna get everything clarified of who's gonna get it and how we're gonna
Will
get
this affect the fire department is probably the better question to ask.
it. Right, and I'm reading, as I read it, we don't have to
I
pay it
think
all.
Jack's right. I think there is another
Separate
RSA that-
statute for
that-
fire
that's
departments
something
as far as
separate.
paying, and it has to do with call forces.
I'm off the fire department. I'm
Yep.
saying municipality in general.
Yeah, but I'm
Then we
saying,
don't
you
pay
just brought
that.
up the fire department,
Well,
so.
that's what I'm saying, I just want clarification on
But
it.
we can clarify that.
Yep.
That's
Right.
I think you're right. There's some other avenues. out
Moving
there.
on to my next question, next page, page 10.
Yep.
Second full paragraph, starting full and part-time employees shall have 2 floating holidays per year. I wrote down a note, per diem, do they gonna qualify for holiday pay?
Are
Are they full-time employees?
No, per diem.
per diem,
Per diem is not part-time, they're not full-time.
well, you're talking about, this is shall receive 2 floating holidays.
I
Is
know,
that the
but
one
he's
you're reading about? Part-time employees, I've never seen a place where a part-time
No,
employee
they don't
receives a
get
floating holiday.
holidays.
If it's one of your regular days of work. If you were an employee
Part-time,
that-
if they're scheduled to work,
If you were an employee that only worked Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 2 of your holidays are Mondays, so you'd get the pay because you can't go to work when no one's there.
well, it says floating holidays. So that's like giving them a vacation day. They're not paying them. Right? They don't, usually part-time employees don't enjoy those type of
Part-time gets
benefits.
Part-time gets the vacation too. If you
Yeah,
look at
part-
Section E.
Which, part-time doesn't get vacation, so.
Well, that was actually good.
Where?
Part-time gets vacation.
Here? A part-time employee gets vacation
It's
days?
at a different prorated schedule, sure.
I've never seen it, I've
Yeah,
never
this is the
seen, I've
first
never
time I've
seen
seen
any
that, too.
part-time employee ever get vacation days.
Yeah, we have people that work 30 hours get vacation. I mean,
If they're
when
currently
we
getting it, I'm
had,
not gonna take it.
when
I'm
we
not
had,
gonna take
when
it,
we
but I'm
had
just saying.
part-timers that worked 30 hours a week, they were prorated at a lot lesser hours, but they still could have a week's vacation in the summer, part-time,
Part-time, non-seasonal.
Yep,
right?
Okay.
okay. I've never seen that, so we're an oddity with that.
Does it clarify in here that seasonal employees do
See,
not
what we used to
qualify?
have is below. Says part-time employees who regularly work 25 hours or more will receive holiday pay.
It was
See, we
crossed
took that out,
Yeah.
trying to clarify it. Those employees whose scheduled workday falls on a holiday, then the employee will be paid based on the hours they would have worked that day.
You might wanna leave that in there.
Leave which one?
The defining what an actual part-time versus full-time employee is.
I thought she did that back here.
If it's somewhere else, that's fine, but I'm just saying.
Yeah,
Yeah, part-time is on page 4. Part-time employees one who works less than 40 hours a week on a
full-time
continuing.
works 40 hours a week.
Page 4,
Yes, the definition under
definition.
full-time and part-time.
Part H.
okay.
So I'd probably clarify E to exclude seasonal.
So, I'm gonna go back to my horse. How about your fire department employees? They're per diem. They're working on holidays. Are they entitled to time and a half? They are considered part-time employees.
That was the question I had.
Right.
Most part-time employees that work in any other, for instance, if they work the holiday, They're entitled to holiday pay.
I don't believe they've ever gotten holiday pay over there.
I mean, I
don't believe
I
so.
worked for instance, the town of Hillsborough for 14 years.
could be wrong, but I
plowing-
don't
Plowing
believe
snow,
so.
and if you worked the holiday, you got your regular hourly pay
Right.
plus the holiday pay on top.
Right, well, that's Hillsborough, not
But I
where.
mean, that's, most towns do that.
Right, but I don't believe that we
Well,
have.
they do, in section K, as proposed, call out per diem, on page 4.
Page 4 at the
Yeah.
bottom.
Let's call
Ricky,
for a
when
per
you're,
diem.
when the guys that work on the rescue squad, are you like on call, is like 2 or 3 people on call during a week,
During the night.
Yeah,
during the night? So do you get paid extra for
Yeah.
being on call whether you go or not?
yeah. Yeah, they're getting paid to sleep.
We get paid a
A
stipend
stipend.
as long as we
So many.
respond to the call.
Yep.
If you don't respond to a
We
call,
get paid a stipend to be on call.
Yep.
and what's the stipend? How much is that?
I think it's,
Does it vary based on rank?
no, it's a flat
Is it
rate.
$5 an hour?
No, I want to, it's 2 blocks of time. I want to say it's
I don't know.
50 a night?
So whether you
That,
go out
that
or
might be
not.
high. I can't remember.
Yeah, so whether you go
thought it
go
was
out or
$5
not,
an
you
hour.
get
A stipend.
stipend.
Yes, that was voted on by the voters.
Plus the call, if you go on.
Plus the
Well,
call.
yeah, then it stops, and then you get paid for your call. Yeah, so
All
you
right,
go on your regular pay.
page 11. First paragraph, third sentence from the bottom. Starting, all vacation leave must be taken in full day increments. I'd like to make that half
Wait a minute, where are you?
Yeah, I think that should be half day.
day
Why?
increments.
Why?
It's what the civilian market pretty much does, so, yeah, I use up my sick time and I want to go to a doctor's appointment. I don't have to take a full day off to go to a doctor's.
We allow
appointment.
you 24 hours of personal time to do that an hourly rate.
Personally, for me, I blow through that in doctor's appointments. And
I think half is like John says, this is kind of the standard on the outside world.
yep. Because, I mean, in sick time, I think I saw in here that it can be done in hour increments. I don't see a reason we couldn't do half-day increments on vacation day.
Right. Chairman, I just would make point of order that we take us home. We read it.
yeah,
We come back.
that
'cause
was
we've
my,
got the chief waiting here for us.
that's my original thought, is
Yeah,
that we,
there's a lot of
there's a
stuff in
lot
there.
to be
There's a lot to
absorbed,
be
and I
discussed.
haven't read the whole thing.
Right, me either, so.
And I
we
agree.
could sit
So
here all
we'll
night
table
doing
that
this,
till
but we
the next
have other
meeting.
things that we need to be doing.
I agree.
That's all I have.
Okay. Any other business?
A lot of reading.
Yeah, a lot of reading.
of homework.
Having none, then,
I got a couple of questions.
oh,
How are we doing on the Forester RFP?
I have a draft upstairs. I have a draft upstairs. I haven't filled it in.
Have you sent it out yet?
I haven't filled it in. I've got it from Laura that she uses in one town.
And what's the update on the East Road, East, property?
There hasn't been any more movement there either.
Don't wanna forget them.
Nope.
What property is that, John?
Gravel bank,
The what?
the gravel bank we're on East
Oh,
Road.
oh.
yeah, East Road. Okay, anything else? And I'll make a motion that we go into non-public under RSA 91A:3, Roman numeral 2, A and C.
I'll second it.
All those in favor, roll call?
Yes.
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 And
We have another one after that?
We'll be adjourning it.
another one, and then after that, we'll be adjourning. So, good night.